You call me your enemy, but do you even understand what that means? Have you ever stopped to wonder why I do what I do? Or are you content to paint me as the monster in your story? Perhaps, for once, you should look at the world through my eyes. To you, your heroes are paragons of virtue, symbols of hope, justice, and truth. But in my eyes, they're nothing more than puppets, faces plastered on propaganda, dancing to the strings of a system designed to keep people like me down. I've watched them bask in your praise while the rest of us were forgotten. I've seen the price of their so-called victories, the lives left in ruins, the promises broken, the lies buried beneath their shining armor. You didn't see the aftermath, did you? The ashes, the blood, the tears. All you saw was the hero holding their trophy, their smile plastered across every headline. But I saw the truth. I lived it. I bled in the shadows of their so-called greatness. And when I spoke out, when I dared to challenge the narrative, you called me a villain. You labeled me an enemy for daring to question the world you're so desperate to believe in. They didn't listen. None of you ever listened. Instead, you dismissed me, mocked me, branded me as the one who dared to disrupt your precious order. But here's the thing about being ignored. It gives you clarity. It strips away the illusion of fairness, of hope. So I stopped asking for your approval. I stopped waiting for change. I decided to take it myself, to tear down the facade brick by brick. I never wanted this, to be the name that strikes fear in your hearts, the shadow in your story. All I wanted was a world where people like me weren't forgotten, where justice wasn't just a word used to justify the actions of the powerful. But you left me no choice. You forced me to become what you feared most. Someone who doesn't play by your rules. Someone who sees through your lies. Your so-called hero doesn't see it, but I do. I see the cracks in their armor, the hypocrisy in their words. They fight to maintain the status quo, to protect a system that thrives on inequality. And you cheer them on because it's easier than facing the truth. But I'm not afraid of the truth. I've embraced it. And now I'll make sure you see it too, even if it terrifies you. You look at me and see only destruction, but in my eyes it's creation. Creation of a world where the forgotten have a voice, where power is earned, not inherited, where heroes are held accountable for the lives they destroy. You call me your enemy because it's easier than admitting that I might be right. That perhaps the villain isn't the one who fights against the system, but the one who defends it. I don't expect you to understand. Not yet. You're too blinded by the stories they've told you, the lies you've clung to. But one day when the cracks become too big to ignore, you'll remember me. And when you do, maybe you'll finally see me. Not as a villain, not as your enemy, but as the one who saw the truth. In the eyes of the enemy, there's always another side to the story, one you were too afraid to see.